Welcome back to Just Josh and Jakota. I'm Josh, this is Jakota, and today we are going to get a little deep with our conversation where last week we kind of ended it with, hey, let's talk about those times that we almost died.
Right.
And we already had a couple episodes, one where I almost killed myself by accident by doing probably the stupidest thing you can do. Well, not the stupidest, one of the stupidest thing, and just gas yourself with
in the garage.
Yeah, carbon monoxide poisoning. Luckily, I survived that. I had carbon monoxide poisoning twice,
Right.
but we're not going to talk about the second time. It's not nearly as interesting, at least to me. It was just me being stupid. No, not even. I was at work.
Right.
And then you told a couple stories, and
Right.
we were talking about how you walked in front of guns and...
Oh, yeah.
Man.
Yes. It sucks, though, but I had a story for today, but I completely forgot it, and it sucks, so I'm going to have to talk about something else, which...
Well, I mean... Oh, well. We'll just save it for another time. When you remember it, write it down. I always try to write stuff down.
It's stupid because I was like, I didn't want to give it away because I think I know that you know this story. And I didn't want you to remember it then. I wanted you to remember it on the show
Right,
or whatever,
get a
right? So like
real reaction to it.
So I kind of just put that in my memory bank, threw away the key. Now I don't.
And something slipped in and stole it.
I don't know what it was. It was a good one too, but I think I have. I've been in danger multiple times, but I remember when. I remember. Okay, so I wouldn't say that I necessarily almost died, but the potential to die was there in this story. Okay.
Okay.
Like, it was so dangerous. If like child services ever saw this happen today, right? You're done. Your kids are taken
Looks
out.
like that guy's gonna get a new mom.
Yeah.
Right? Just snatch you up.
Oh, okay. So I must have been about 8, 7, or 6. One of those, right?
Young.
We were young, okay? And you were actually involved in this as well. I don't know if you remember this. Holy crap. So we were hanging out in our brother Ken's room. So you guys might be familiar. He's the guy that does like those jade rocks or whatever in your videos.
Yeah. So if you're watching my videos, you've met Ken a few times.
Right. So that's the brother that we were hanging out with at this particular time. So I don't even remember what made this situation. I don't remember the before. I just remember the happening and then the after. Okay. So we're chilling in his room or whatever, and he has this. What is that? Like saran wrap. He had like a big tube of saran wrap. Okay. And
I remember this.
You remember this?
I remember this.
Okay, so I want to say what I remember.
So this was shrink wrap, not saran wrap.
Shrink wrap.
Shrink wrap for like, bundling pallets and
Right.
stuff, right? You just wrap that shit around and then you have a secure load on a pallet, basically.
Right. It was very strong stuff.
It's industrial.
Right.
Yeah, you can pull it apart, but it's not like saran wrap where you can just go, psst.
Right.
It's like,
Right.
being a little kid, probably wouldn't have been able to pull it apart very easily
No.
at all.
So what happened was, this is what I remember. I remember like wrapping it. So we're like this tall, right? We're not very tall.
Yeah.
And so he wrapped us from our ankles
Yeah.
with our arms
In.
the wrap.
Yeah.
Okay? So we're like mummies, okay? Ha! Just jumping around or whatever. I remember, I think you were wrapped up first.
Yeah.
And
it was a blast.
it was so fun. We thought it was hilarious. We're like worms. We can't really, like, if we were able to stand up, that was dangerous. But I mean, it was fun, and we'd hop around or whatever. And so I remember this happening. Okay, I remember that everyone went downstairs.
Right, so our bedrooms and our brother's bedroom was upstairs.
Right, exactly.
Right, yeah.
And so everyone went downstairs, and I was the only one upstairs. I think you were like, I'm tired of this. I don't want to be in this anymore. So you went downstairs. Or it was dinner or something where everyone left me, and I was the only one that was jumping around. So this is the scary part, okay? I'm jumping around or whatever, having a good time, and I was like, hey, you know what? Maybe I should probably go with the others, right? I'm right. my arms and stuff like this, right? Just boing boing, and I lost my footing. Okay.
Hold on. Let's back up a little bit. We had gone down the stairs and up the stairs
Yes,
a couple times
we
at
did.
this point.
Yeah, because we were so slippery.
Yeah, we were just
Right, and didn't hurt.
No.
You would just
no
slip down the
and
stairs.
then we would going back up the stairs took forever because
Right.
we had to be like folded over trying to like
like a salmon trying to get upstream.
yeah, exactly. It was very difficult.
It was very difficult.
But going down was easy and it was fun.
Right. No, extremely fun. It was like a slip and slide in your whole hallway, right?
Yeah, just right. And at the bottom of our stairs, there was a landing, and then there was another like drop down for the living room.
Right. Exactly.
I believe we were trying to like see how.
Who knows?
Right.
Maybe
were, like it was fast
because it was like. Yeah, there wasn't much. There was like hallway space, and then there was the small drop, which was it was all carpeted too.
Yeah, all carpet. Oh, if it was wood.
Oh, gosh,
We wouldn't have slipped as well because it has like that underlay that makes it every corner soft and rounded.
Probably would have been more hazardous to our health.
Yeah. Anyways,
so
fast forward back to.
So, I lost my footing. Okay, and how. I was in the doorway. So I was in the doorway because I was like, okay, I'm tired of this. I'm gonna, right? I lost, and I was going like this, right? And I turned and I like did something. I was like, oh no!
There's no catching your balance.
No.
Your arms are tied to you.
Right?
Worse than tied. You can't even put out an elbow.
No, none of this. Like, you have to put out your chin, maybe. I don't know. So this is what happened. Okay, I lost my footing. There is a trunk right here. Okay, pretend
He's talking about a steamer trunk.
like so the stuff that you put things in. Not like a trunk for your car, like a
where you don't put anything in.
right, and you put stuff in there. All right.
Yeah.
So I was like this. Okay, I'm stuck. I'm completely wrapped. I'm like no, and I was like this close from crashing my face into this trunk.
Yeah.
But instead, my face hit the ground. Okay.
Hit the ground, yeah.
And okay.
Your jaw, yeah. Can you guys hear that? Dude, that's from that? Dude, that's insane.
I can click my jaw now because I couldn't. There's none of this. So I crash. Boom. I almost smoked like my eye. Like the corner could have taken out my eye, it could have been so much worse, right? So I'm crying, but I can't open my mouth. I can't.
Because your jaw is
my
messed
jaw, right? It's like I can't.
It was stuck shut.
I couldn't open it.
Dude, you had lockjaw.
I'm crying, right? Right? It's just in the worst pain where I can't scream out for help. No one knows that I'm.
So you're silently crying.
I'm silent,
basically.
right? Like when you're, shut up before I give you something to cry about, and then they're like, that's what I was doing, except for like I just couldn't, right? So I'm like, what do I do, right? Like I'm 6 years old. I'm like, how do I get the attention of the adults, right? These bastards that left me up here. So I'm like. I wiggled myself to the stairs. There's no freaking way I was standing up again. I was like, hell no. What if I bit something else? You know what I mean? I made my way to the stairs, right?
You're just whimpering. And you're like,
yeah. Dude, that's like I was a dead body just
just pounding down the stairs.
Friggin' mom here's
like some dead animal, dying animal.
She goes, oh my gosh, what's wrong? Like I can't open my mouth, right? It must have been like a couple hours before I could have.
So did you have to like massage it to like open it, or did you just?
No one knew what was wrong, right?
You couldn't open.
I couldn't say.
You couldn't tell them.
Couldn't play charades, draw. None of that. It was just like I could just go like point at my jaw or whatever, and then mom was pissed. She was like, "You're never doing that again." Obviously, because I almost broke my face, right? So, it could have been way worse. I could have gotten brain damage. I could have
dude,
right? I could have my
you could have lost an eye. You could have like fractured your eye socket,
right? I could have broke my nose. I could have, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that wouldn't have been as bad as
breaking your nose is so bad. I broke my nose 3 times.
Right.
It just looks bad.
Right.
That's all. Like I just got this massive bump. It's just like, hey guys, here's my nose.
You got the what is it? Wow. You got the Owen Wilson nose.
I don't think it's quite that bad.
Wow, you got a wonderful nose.
Okay, so that story, I actually remember that, but I do not remember it like that. I remember you smacking your face.
Do you remember that?
Yeah. I remember that you got hurt. I remember I didn't get hurt.
No, you didn't.
And I remember how freaking sweaty it was, dude. And, dude, I remember when I got out, it was like just glorious breeze.
Like a sponge soaking up water, but it was like air.
I do remember you getting hurt, but I don't remember it being that bad. It was bad. That's crazy. I guess I don't remember it because I didn't.
You were downstairs or something. I don't. Oh man, I'm trying to still remember why.
And the thing is we did that more than once.
We did do that. That was the last time. I think
obviously, yeah. So we couldn't have done that again.
That was the last time.
Wouldn't have been allowed. That's weird.
Yeah, not the first time I've fallen on my jaw though. I've fallen on my jaw probably 3 times. That
was the worst one.
Totally. That was the first time that I ever did it. The second time was when I was skating and hit a knot in the ice.
A knot in the ice?
Like you know how there's like an air bubble?
Oh, so you just hit
a
void of some
sort of
something
bullshit on the ice, right? And
well, sometimes people would throw rocks on the ice rink.
Yeah,
that was so annoying.
But this was like, where was this? This was in Spruce Grove, the Grant Fuhr Arena. The second time that I cracked my jaw. Nope, that's a lie. Westview Village.
Dude, I remember you cracking your head. I remember, like, because we couldn't skate, and I remember you had this helmet on, right, like a hockey helmet, and you plowed straight into these boards.
I think I remember that.
Beamed yourself so hard, and I thought, wow, he has a helmet on. It didn't hurt, but that probably hurt your neck and everything because you just.
I think I remember that. That's funny. But when I hit my jaw, I had to pretend like nothing happened because we got all these ladies skating around and stuff, right? So I was like, I cracked it hard, okay? Like.
Tears, even though you're not crying.
Not crying. I wasn't crying. I held it in. Like, you know that pit in your throat or whatever when you want to cry or in your stomach or whatever?
Yeah, sure.
Where you're like, you're trying not to. And then I just held onto the boards. Like, I just skated with the boards because I was like, that ain't happening again.
That is actually pretty nuts because, like, I imagine stuff like that happening all the time while I'm out and about doing whatever. And I'm like, okay, what measures can I take so stuff like this doesn't happen? Because I don't want to be like going to whatever. Let's say, like, for example, here's one thing I always think about. When, like when you go sledding, like tobogganing.
Sure.
I haven't gone in years, but people are always trying to hit the people trying to climb back up the ice hill. Right? Because it's fun, right?
Sure, yeah.
You just wham, and it's like part of the game.
Right.
So, I play that game. Everyone knows what's going on.
Right.
So, they're trying to avoid you. So, when I go to hit someone going down the hill, I take in consideration, like, what if this person's not paying attention? Because I'm not hitting that person, but if I hit this person awkwardly, he's going to go flying and kick this guy in the head.
Right.
So, I'm like, okay, I got to do it. That's a...
How can I hurt this person strategically?
Without hurting someone else. Or whatever, right? But it was just part of our fun and games when we were at school or whatever, right? Or it doesn't even have to be anything that serious. It could even be like looking ahead more than one car while you're driving.
Oh, I do that all the time.
You see that? You should. Everyone should.
Yeah. But
so many people don't, right? So if you're looking ahead...
As soon as you drive in LA,
brake lights,
you'll do that.
Yeah. So, but anyways, that story of you smacking your head into the thing, Ashley told me this story when they took skiing lessons in, like, before we met her.
I don't think I have the nuts to go skiing.
No, skiing's not so bad, but
Are you serious?
I like it.
You're on two.
Death sticks.
Like you, anything could happen. Like you could dig into and fly forward. I've seen terrible skiing accidents.
Yeah. But you just go on green runs to start. Like I started on blue runs because blue is like intermediate. Green is just way too easy. You kind of like you even if you have little experience, you're able to do things based on life experience, let's say. So you will know that you can do something at least a little well sometimes. Not everyone can, right? But in this case, I knew I would be able to do at least a blue run.
Okay.
Just because these green runs, just by looking at them, I'm like, this is way too easy. So I go these blue runs, whatever. What I hated is when my skis would cross.
Right. Yeah, that's not for me, dude.
It's just like, because then you'd have to pull them apart, because then your feet go together, and then you fall over.
Yeah, no thanks.
What I wanted to start doing, I went down, on my first day, I was doing double blacks, which is like pretty hard, I would say. That's like there's triple black, I think is the hardest.
This is like skill.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So green is like I think it's a circle, and then blue is a square, and then black diamond is like there's black, double black, and triple black, I think. And then there's way beyond, like I can't do double black very well. I can barely do it. And I can't do triple black at all. Dude, okay. This is not the story I was going to tell, but first let me tell the story about Ashley. So you smacking your head into that thing, she told me the story of a girl in her class. This is doing bunny slope stuff. She tucks and just like she's in the Olympics or something, goes flying down this hill, and apparently the instructors are like, "Hey, no, stop! But she's just tucked in there, like bent up, all trying to be like going as fast as she can, and she crashes through the lodge, through the shed.
What?
Through the wall.
No!
Yeah, she got broken up. She had to go to the hospital. As a little kid. Like, I don't know, when you start doing bunny slope stuff, like in grade 1 or 2?
I'm so, like, what made her think that she was supposed to go like this?
Probably saw it on TV or something, because it's not something that you learn on your day one.
No, that's something where you take a jump and then you do that spread eagle whatever thing, right? And then you jump 7 million feet.
That's insane. I would never be able to do that. Okay, so let's dig into this. So on my first ski day, we go to Marmot Basin, which is like in Jasper. And there's 2 hills. There's 2 mountains, right? And there's many runs on them. One of them it's a nice fresh powder day. And Joel, my brother-in-law, he's like a really good skier. And he's like, okay, I'll teach you the basics. So we go on the blue runs. He shows me how to do it. And I'm like getting it pretty well.
Right.
I suck, but I'm not bad. And I'm doing like 180s or 360s and stuff. And not off jumps, but just in the snow. Just kind of messing around.
Oh, you're carving the snow.
And he's getting pissed off because it's a nice, fresh 2 feet of powder or however much it was. It was just nice. And like for a beginner skier, that's kind of harder to ski in. But for like someone who's experienced, like you want that fresh, deep powder. So he was getting mad at me because I'm screwing around. He's trying to teach me how to do the basics so that he can go and do his own thing. Because he's mad fast. He's got like really long skis and stuff. So they're like, the longer they are, the faster you can go. And I'm trying to keep up to him. I'm like, grr, I'm doing this thing. But he's so good and I'm not. Anyways, so I just start doing stuff. He's like, dude, stop. Anyways, I get over trying to catch up to him. And I'm like, just do your own thing. I think I'm good. So that's one mountain. The other mountain is windswept. It's a sheet of ice. So you jump off the lift, which is like a bench, right?
Right.
You lift up the thing, and like it's hard to
get
off. On my first shot, I'm like, like they'll hold it if you don't get off. But there's many people who eat shit right off the bat.
Really?
Or they, right, and they just fall, and it's embarrassing a little bit, but no one gets hurt really. Right. There was this one chick, her ski somehow got caught on, and she's like hopping, and it's turning around, and it turns around this big ass pulley, and so they caught it luckily, because she would have just kept going, but they stopped it, and then I don't know what happened exactly, but she must have tried to do something or something like. Oh no! It was her jacket that got caught, not her ski. It was her jacket got caught on the lift thing. Yeah, and she's like ah, trying to like, and it's like.
That sounds more dangerous than going down the hill.
Well, I mean, there's a instructor guy or whatever you call him, a lift guy, right there. So it's not. Like, it's not so bad.
You would think
they used to not put a bar on, right? And they used to have ones where it was just a single seat where you sat on like a 2x8.
Yeah.
Right? And then they have the ones that you tuck behind your legs. Like those, it's just a T-bar thing. And you just go up.
And you just go up.
Right? And then you have to take it off when you get to the top. This is my first experience skiing. I'm more trying not to get embarrassed getting off than anything else because I want to look like I'm not. And then in trying not to look like I don't know what I'm doing, I'm probably looking like the biggest moron. Like I'm like So either they thought I was like a real hot dogger or a real idiot this one run. It's windy. It's really cold at the really top because there's no trees or anything. And this run, everyone starts on the same run and it's pretty steep. And then it goes off a cliff, like a mini cliff, like probably like 15 feet or something like that. So deep enough that you would hurt you, but like it's like a sign that says like here green, there blue, there double black or triple black, whatever the highest was. I imagine that's what it was. And you had to go straight. And people are going off there all the time. You can see all of the trails, like all the groomed, like it's groomed, right? Left and right. On the going straight, there's like barely any ski marks because that's for pros. It's ice. Okay? Pure ice. And I'm thinking, how am I going to be able to get down this thing when I don't know how to ski? I don't know how to do the back and forth thing. And I remember Ashley's dad, he's a pretty good skier. Joel, I believe Ashley was with me too. Ashley's been skiing before. I never have. Whatever. Everyone's going. They're down. And then there's me. Vroom! I'm like cruising.
Like,
I'm going way too fast. And I have like no, I didn't have my. I was like, okay. I'm like trying to slow down and I can't. I'm like. And like there's like.
Oh man.
Hundreds of people on the hill. And I have to like go around them. There's kids, and it's
dude. I'm just picturing your freaking face.
And the burden of safety is up to the people at the top because you can't look behind. You can, but most people don't. So you got to watch what people are doing. I'm narrowly wiping kids off the face of the planet. Like they're just going straight, and then but it's fast, so they turn to slow down. And they just go, oh my God!
Were you yelling?
No, because I didn't want to sound like I didn't know what I was doing. I was yelling inside.
Oh, man.
I'm like, oh my God. And then there's that freaking cliff. And I'm like, if I go sailing off this thing, like I'm going so fast. Like I don't know how fast I was going, but.
Like 40 clicks?
More than that. I was going, because then Ashley's dad is down the hill and I can see him. And I'm like, look out! And he's like, slow down, like his face, slow down. And I'm like, and then like, there's the cliff, like probably, I don't know, 50 feet ahead. So I'm like, I dig in, I go as, I dig in like I'm like Spider-Man trying to stop the train. Right? And I'm like, then I finally hit. Okay, there's these. I don't know what they're called, but there's these like orange fences, right?
Like
these
a snow fence.
Yeah, they're plastic.
Right, and there's holes in it.
Yeah.
It's called.
There's one of those. So there's powder right there. And I stop instantly, just and my skis stay neatly side by side. Right, 2 parallel skis, and I go flying out of my shoes, out of my skis. Like my boots are still on, but like so when you're a beginner, your skis come off easily, right? They set it so that so like you know, and my skis stay in a line, and I go flying
off the cliff.
No, no. There was still a little ways to go. Probably a good. It was probably more than 50 feet. Let's say about 70 feet.
Dude, that's hilarious.
And then, but I went flying at least 15 feet. Just, And I'm like, oh. And then Joe, like my father-in-law, he like comes down and he's like, are you okay? And I'm like, ugh. I'm like buried and stuff. I'm like, ugh. Like my back and neck all cracked. I'm like,
oh man.
Snow all down my jacket. I get up and I'm like, ugh. Where are my skis? They're way up there, so I have to like walk up this hill.
Oh.
Dude, that was intense. That didn't almost kill me. I imagine if I would have sailed off the thing, I could have gotten hurt really badly.
Right.
In that same ski trip, I was doing okay. So Joel, my brother-in-law, he was like, well, why don't we try some moguls? Mm-hmm. Moguls are like, they're just a bunch of bumps, right? And dude, that shit is hard.
Oh.
I'm like going down. And then I fall into a tree well, which is like, so there's spruce trees or whatever type of coniferous tree, and if you if you fall into the boughs into the tree, you'll fall down because the snow is like 15 feet deep, right?
That's dangerous though.
Yeah, right? And I got stuck in one. So I was going down these moguls, and he's like, just stay away from the trees as much as you can. But there's so many trees in this section. There's tons of them. And, like, I was already going through trees on the blue runs, right? And we were cruising, right? He was teaching me some of the basics, and then he would go through trees. So I'm like, wow, you're going through trees. I'm going to go through trees. Right. And, like, it's hard to turn in the small trails. So, like, I freaking George the Jungle the tree. I just went,
really?
Oh! But it didn't hurt because I was going quick, but not fast.
The only skiing that I've ever done was cross-country skiing.
Yeah, not dangerous at all.
I mean, boring.
Boring, yeah.
Are you kidding me? It's like snowshoeing.
But worse.
But no, actually, you know what? It's faster to cross-country ski than it is to snowshoe.
Right, because it's slippery and stuff, and you're kind of, yeah. Right. Well, anyways, what was I saying?
You were in the trees.
Oh, yeah, I fell ass first.
No.
So I was like
this.
Yes. So my feet and arms are in the air, and I can't get out.
I would have started. I'm claustrophobic, so like if I would have been in a hole like this with my skis, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, but you can't panic. The key is to not
I would have
panic,
freaked out.
right? So if he comes and pulls me out, we're safe.
Right.
But he didn't realize I fell in there at first, and he can't see me.
Oh,
so
no.
I'm trying to kick my skis off because like they're stuck on my feet, and it's making it hard to move.
Could you like?
The more I was moving, the more deeper I was going.
This is making me.
I grabbed onto one of the branches, but the branches are like this skinny, so like they're bending.
Right.
So I'm like, because I'm at the top of the tree. The tree looks like it's only like 10 feet high, but really it's probably 25 feet high. I'm at the top of the tree. The branches are this skinny, right? Way. So I'm holding on to it, and I'm kicking my freaking ski off, right? You have to kick, there's like this little lever, right? And you have to kick that thing.
Yeah.
I'm trying to kick it, and I finally get one ski off, which allows me to put my foot down, and then I can, but they're smooth, right? It's not like a shoe. It's not flexible. It's hard, right? So I'm like trying to like, I finally get out. And then he sees me, and he helps me out the rest of the way. Like, man, and this is not the stories I was meaning to tell.
No, but you totally could have freaking died. What if he didn't find you? You could have yelled, maybe.
I was yelling. I was like, Joel! But you can't hear shit. It's windy up there, dude.
Oh, I thought maybe the echo would...
No, you can't hear anything. You hear...
Joel, I'm in the hole, over. You need one of those.
Yeah. It's probably
I'm
a
never
good idea.
doing that.
Yeah. Another time he sort of rescued me from danger is we were climbing up so he's into rock climbing, and he's pretty good at it, and we got into rock climbing at the same time until I broke my shoulder, and then I fell behind, and then it got boring trying to learning all these holds without someone to do it with. Right. So I just kind of don't do it anymore. So, but this one time we were out in nature, and we climbed up just a shale slide. Right. And it's dangerous. It's not hard to climb, but it's not difficult. It's not technically difficult. It's just hard to climb because it's just sliding down. Right. And this thing was probably, I don't know how steep, but steep. Steeper than but I was like a hothead, and he starts climbing it, and I'm like, well, if you can climb it, so can I.
Right.
And I book it right past him, and I'm like, I'm going up, and then you also have to be mindful not to hit this kid down there.
Right, because all this falling.
Yeah, it's
debris.
falling. So you have to go in a certain pattern so that he doesn't get a face full of rocks. Because another time we climbed up a different mountain, that was Crow's Nest Mountain, and it has what's called a chimney. And the chimney is basically like a spot that has like a rock slide in it. I'm not sure if that's like the technical. Not sure if that's always the case what a chimney is. But anyways, there's these Asian kids who were climbing the same mountain. Okay. And the reason why I say they're Asian is because I don't think that they could understand English.
So they must be Asian then.
Yeah. And so they're climbing up, and we're like, hey, we're going to climb this chimney. And they can speak a little English, but like they're just like, oh, okay, yeah, whatever. Mm-hmm. And we go up, and common courtesy, you say heads up if you dislodge a rock.
Right.
There's this one girl, okay, I was like, heads! And she looks and doesn't move as this good-sized boulder is going down this hill. And I was like, oh, shit.
Ugh.
This is going to kill her. Like, it was huge. And it was hauling ass. And she just watched it narrowly miss her. She must have been, like, scared. Like, frozen in her tracks. Because, like, it's hard to move on the shale.
Sure.
Right? And that's, we say, hey, we're going to climb this. If you're not going to climb it, move out of the way. Oh, yeah, okay. This is before we knew that he couldn't speak English. We deduced that they couldn't speak English after. Because, like, we're climbing up, and I'm thinking, oh, crap.
Right.
I'm going to kill this girl.
Wow.
Because she's not moving.
Right.
And it just misses her. And I'm like,
dude,
dude, I was scared.
I would have peed or something.
So, that's not me almost dying. But like, dude, that was...
Imagine killing someone.
Yeah, that would have been horrible.
I don't know how people do it just for fun. You know what I mean?
To kill people?
Yeah. You know?
Yeah, but I don't understand that either, because this would have been a freak accident. Because
no,
I had no control over it.
But like, there's like you're gonna freaking live with that. But there's people that do it for sport.
Yeah, there are. That's messed up. I would never do that. Like there was no. I couldn't. There was nothing I could do. Just watching as this big rock. If it didn't kill her, it would have seriously messed her up.
You know,
we were on the top of a mountain and Crow's Nest Mountain is in a area that I don't even know if it has a hospital. I think that might be in the next town. Like I was just like, man, they would have had to get stars or something.
Oh my gosh! You know what? If you would have said "Go Gadget," I'm pretty sure you would have been in the clear. I said "Go Gadget" arm and it didn't work.
Go Gadget arms. Yeah, but man. The thing is that she watched it go, and so did all of her friends. There was like a good group of them, probably like 7 or 8 of them. And they all just watched it just go. Maybe she knew it wasn't going to hit her.
But there have been times where I think I've also been frozen in my tracks.
Where
it was like so slow motion that you kind of just... Right? Like when I flipped the car almost, that was, I guess...
Yeah, but were you frozen in your tracks? What are you supposed to do?
Yeah, I guess.
Right? Like,
exit the car.
If you saw a boulder coming towards you, would you be like, well, this is my time? There was still lots of time for her to move. There was at least 5 seconds.
That's funny. What you just said just reminded me. Have you seen the Hercules movie with The Rock in it?
Yeah.
Yeah? Where he goes, it's my time. And that arrow, or he threw that spear, and then The Rock was like, yeah. He's like, what the hell? Yeah. that just reminded me. It's my time. And he saves his life. That's funny.
Yeah.
That was a good movie.
That was a good movie. Good take on Hercules.
Yeah, I really loved how they, like, didn't, they kept it like a myth where it was like, he didn't actually have.
No.
He wasn't actually the god of.
It was just embellishment.
Right. I loved that.
Yeah.
That was really great.
That was cool. So, we have a few more minutes. Why don't I quickly tell the story?
Yes. I'm anxious to hear this one.
Okay. So I've told you this, but I don't think I've told you it the way that
I think all three of you all told me at the same time.
Yeah, probably.
Kind of like
So
dipped in.
this is another story that involves my brother-in-law and also my wife Ashley. So this
I wish I would have been there.
this was scary, dude. This was like straight up probably the scariest encounter with other human beings I've ever had, because there was probably nothing I could do. I would have done my best.
Ooh, I have another story.
But I would have gotten smoked. Okay, well, we'll try to get to yours as well.
Okay, if we don't make it, then whatever.
We'll just tell it next time.
Right, yeah. Well, it's not even. It's kind of...
Okay, let's tell yours first then.
Okay, it's kind of short.
Is this one where you almost got waxed or what?
This is where I thought I almost got waxed. Where I thought I was going to die. I was chilling with this girl that I was seeing when I lived in the States, okay?
Okay.
And she was of Hispanic descent, so she hung around other Hispanics that I look like a white boy, skinny kid, right?
Uh-huh.
Big Mexican dudes that this girl that I was seeing with hung out with these big dudes that were intimidating, right?
Right.
I remember I went to her house and I was chilling in the front yard, so like there's nothing to do in Arizona sometimes. So sometimes you just chill on your front porch, right?
Right.
So it's a good time. I remember I was chilling there and some dude comes out that I'd never met. It was me and the girl that I was seeing.
Uh-huh.
And this dude comes out and he has a gun in his hand. Okay? And I was like, cool gun, man. That's pretty cool. I thought it was kind of weird that you're just flashing it about.
But it is Arizona.
Yeah, I was
right?
like, yeah, okay.
You can...
Mexicans have guns. It makes sense, right? People have guns. That's just a thing in Arizona, right? So I didn't think too much of it. Then he started like pointing that shit at me. Okay? So I was like, dude, don't do that, please. I don't like that. And he was like pointing it at my knee. Okay? Like he was going to cap me in the freaking knee, right? And he was laughing, right? He was like, I felt like I was in jail and I was about to get...
Like there's nothing you can
felt so helpless. First of all, I'm with this girl, okay? So I can't be like, don't shoot me, right? Which I wanted to, because I had never had a gun pointed at me. Well, I have. Police have pointed guns at me, but this was a person that was unhinged in my brain, right? Like
Right.
I didn't know. So I'm uncomfortable, right? Super uncomfortable, right? He's pointing the gun at me. She's not saying a damn thing, right? She's just like, right? Like this was something that just happened.
Oh, Hector.
Yeah, right? I'm shaking in my boots, yo. He's pointing a gun at my knee, and I'm not just, what am I going to do? Karate chop him? Like, what, right? It's like, I don't know any moves. I'm a skinny dude. He points gun at me, like, right? So he's pointing it at me. I'm like, dude, stop. I don't like that, right? Knock it off. I'm trying to play it cool, right? I'm trying to play it like
this happens to me all the time.
Yeah,
I'm sick of it already.
Right? Gosh, these guys. So I almost lost it. He starts disrespecting the girl that I was with, right? And I'm like, I almost punched him in the face, okay? I was so close. I was this close to doing it. I was on the verge.
The thing that stops you is instant death.
Yes. I didn't care at this point. I was like, okay, you know what? This guy's making me look like a fool in front of this girl. And this girl clearly isn't in control of the situation, even though it's her house, right? So I was like, okay, I got to do something, right? And right when I was about to do something, he goes, it's not real. And I go, you asshole. Because it looked real. And he held it. I should have known because he held it. And I was like, let me see the gun. He's like, I'm not giving you my gun. I was like,
Oh, so you couldn't see the barrel.
I couldn't see it.
You couldn't see
I
how
couldn't
like
see-
how
right,
how big.
and it was like one of those
Like an airsoft
revolver,
gun?
where like
Oh,
you
so-
know, one of those where you have 6 shots, or whatever,
Yeah,
like
revolver,
a
yeah.
Derringer, or whatever the hell it's called. Derringer. How do you say
Derringer?
that? Derringer.
Those are like the little ones that you pop out of your
Okay,
sleeve.
no, it wasn't that. It was you know,
Like a revolver.
Like a revolver.
Like a snub nose or something like
Yes.
that. Okay.
Snub nose revolver, and the dude. So there was the. Big
If you
dude,
would have seen the barrel, you
I
would have
would've-
been able to see that hole's way
Yeah,
too small,
right.
and you would have.
I would have known. The dude. So there was her cousin, and then there was the dude that was messing with me, right?
Uh-huh.
This dude starts laughing. He knew the entire time that it wasn't real, right? He knew the entire time. So like, I'm here. He knew that I was scared. He freaking knew.
What?
He freaking knew. He freaking.
Why
knew.
wouldn't you be?
Yeah, I know. I thought I was gonna. I thought that I was gonna die because like I was like, okay, well, if I punch this dude, like that's
He's
it
gonna
for me.
shoot
Yeah,
me.
he's gonna freaking cap my ass. But I didn't care. But then he was like, I'm just playing. And I was like, dude, you scared the shit out of me, and I'm gonna go get some new clean shorts. So So that was it. But he also messed with someone else that was at that house as well. He said, but the dude that he messed with before was also Mexican, so he didn't give a shit. He was like, do it, right? I was like, that's not me. That is not the kind of... And then they made fun of him for saying, yeah, you wanted it in your mouth and blah, blah. Like, so they made fun of him because this guy was trying to clown me because I was scared. He was like, I wasn't scared. He was like, yeah, well, you said put it in my mouth. And then so we all joked on him. So he was the butt of the joke instead of me. So
that would take some guts, though, if you thought it was real.
Uh-huh.
Because that's a hard bluff, man.
Yes, and I'm so glad that I didn't punch him because that would have he would have been like I was joking, and then it would have made.
I'd be like, well, screw me then.
Yeah, like oh man.
Oh man, I should learn how to take a joke, I guess. This is kind of like that, but real, 100% real, 100%. I thought I was totally. This was it. I don't know what to do. Mm-hmm. I'm just gonna do my best, and hopefully I remain alive.
Right.
So. Not that they necessarily would have killed me, because they may have been fine with me living, right? They may have been like, oh, you're gonna, whatever. Let's just see what these guys are doing, and then whatever, right? So what I did that was wrong in these people's eyes. Okay, so let's break it down. I was fishing on Indian land.
Right.
Now, that's a common thing for a native person to say to a white person, Indian land, because it's designated as Indian land by white people. So it's a way to claim it as your own by using what a lot of natives don't want to be called Indians.
Right.
In Canada anyways, right? So they say Indian land. So I'm fishing on their land, on their reserve, right? I almost said the reserve. I won't say the reserve, but it's one that's close to here. Mm-hmm. And I'm there with Joel, who's white, and Ashley, who's white. Right. And they both look white. And, like, they're Polish. Like, how much whiter can you get, right? So, like, I was like, okay, let's go fishing. I like fishing. Let's do it. And I'm like, okay, let's go in the reserve. It's a big-ass lake. Right. And the reserve is only on one side. Mm-hmm. And whatever, right? But we go into the res to do this. Right. And I'm like, okay, we'll go down this road. It's sketchy. Right? It's just a gravel... That's actually not even a gravel road. It's a dirt road. Mm. And I go down there with my truck and his truck. And we have a kayak and a dinghy that we modified to be able to stand up in. And it has benches and stuff. Right. And so we're getting it ready. And we have, like, our whole tackle set. Whatever. Like, we're getting it ready. Like, this boat was pretty bitching for a dinghy. Right? And so it's taking us a while to get it done. And then... I see this SUV.
Like a cloud of dust coming your way? Yes.
Hollywood style, dude. It's coming down the road.
And then you heard like some suspenseful music.
I could have. Like, if someone was filming this, like, I was like, oh no. Just the way that they came down the road.
So you just, like, as soon as you saw this vehicle, you knew that maybe you were...
Well, because it's a res truck, dude. I just knew that they, like... I knew there was so many people in it. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, what am I going to do? Okay, I'm like, okay, well, maybe they're just wondering what's down this road. But it's all dusty and stuff. I don't know. There's just a certain look that you can kind of see. And he comes down the road, and I'm like, what the heck? What am I going to do? How am I going to get out of this if it's bad? But I'm still hopeful that nothing's happening. Right. So it's coming down. They all open their doors, 4 doors. Mm-hmm. Right. There's 2 people in the front, obviously, and there's a bunch of people in the back. Okay. And they open the doors and they keep them open. And this one dude, he looked like a movie villain. Right. He must have been like cracked out or something. He had a terrible face. Right. He looked like he spent in Western movies where they bury them up to their head. Yeah. That's another Rock movie actually, The Scorpion King.
Oh yeah. That's a great movie.
Right. So imagine just getting baked in the sun. His face was messed up.
Like pizza face or
but bad. His whole head. He was bald and he had no shirt on and he had res tattoos.
So this guy's native.
Yes, all of them were.
They're all natives.
They all get out and they go in front of the truck. It's like they were like, hey guys, let's scare the crap out of them and do what we see in the movies. Right. They lined up in front of the truck and stood there like like freaking bodyguards.
Right.
And then like we're looking at them, and I'm like to Joel, right? We're going on the lake, so we have life jackets on, and
Right.
I'm like, dude, just keep your life jacket on, because they're probably going to stab us. And he's like, I'm like, we're gonna have to fight them probably.
Holy shit.
I'm like, and I'm scared,
Right.
right? I'm like, I
What
have
do you
like
do in that
empty
situation?
feeling in
Right.
my chest. And then Ashley, she's in her kayak on the lake, and Joel was like, Ashley, go, but she couldn't see them
Right.
because she's down the bank,
Right.
and she's just having fun. It's all
Right.
sweet and innocent and just whatever. She's
Right.
like, take a picture of me, and then Joel's like, go, but what's the context?
Right.
She doesn't
She
know,
doesn't
so she
know.
doesn't go.
Right.
And I'm trying to tell her to go without telling these guys that
That
someone's
there's
down here.
Oh my god.
So they get out, and then the one guy, the scariest looking dude, like he's in the middle, and then he's like, it's silent, and then like the dust cloud goes away with the breeze, and then he goes, "This is Indian land," and I was like, yeah, no, we're screwed.
Yeah. Well, you should have said I am Indian.
So I wasn't gonna do that right away.
Right.
So I was like, so they do that, and they come up to us.
I can just, dude.
And he puts his hands, like one of his hands
Oh.
behind his back, and I'm like, so I'm like, okay, I have, like, we have our fillet knife in the boat,
Right.
all that stuff, or our tackle gear, whatever. It's not a fillet knife, it's a regular knife,
Right.
but you know what I mean, right?
Sure. Yeah.
So I go as close to the boat as I can without making it obvious of what I'm doing,
You
right?
Getting a weapon.
Because if shit was gonna go down, I wasn't going to die easily.
Right.
And I don't know if they were actually going to do anything or if they were just trying to scare white people away.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But I was like, okay, we just got to stay calm, and you have to just don't say too many words and just be
Right.
cool.
Uh-huh.
Right? I was like, if some of my friends know where I am, we'll be fine. No one knows where we are. I'm like, okay. So just keep your life jacket on, and just because it's going to be harder to stab through a life jacket
Right.
than it is just straight into your gut.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I'm trying to tell Ashley to go away, and then so the guy comes up. He's like, "This is Indian land." He comes up to us, and he's like, trying to be like super intimidating.
Right.
And then there's a couple other people, and then there's some younger people, probably about our age, and one of the older guys says, "Go swimming," and they're like, "I don't want to go swimming." They both say that they don't want to go swimming.
Kids.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't call them kids, young adults.
Young adults. Okay. So the elder.
The older guy, in his 40s or something, I don't know how old he was. He's like, he does like the Indian point, go swimming, right? And then they're like, I don't want to go swimming. But then they look, see Ashley in the water, and they like instantly take off their shirts and they just hop into the water and they grab her boat.
What?
I was like,
They grabbed her boat,
yeah, in her kayak.
and she was like,
And she was oblivious. Dude, she didn't know. She's like, oh, there's these guys. And I'm like, but then she kind of thought that things were kind of sketchy, right? So then I was like, okay, I'm like, that could be bad. And I was like, okay, so I walked to the water, and there was like this moose skeleton there. And I remember the one guy, he's like, nice effing trucks. So I thought he was going to slash our tires or something. And then he goes over and he kicks the freaking skeleton apart for some reason. And then he's like, what did he say? He said the name of the reserve in Cree. And he's like, this is, and then he says, he's like, Treaty 6 is blah, blah, blah. He basically quotes what Treaty 6 is.
Right.
Because this is Treaty 6 land, right? It's basically, so a huge reason why our folks are like native people are so sour towards white people is not, a lot of people there's a misconception that we lost our land in war, which would be fair gain. Kind of messed up, but it's fair gain. If you win the war, you get the spoils, right?
sure.
But we lost our land through treaties that were intentionally misleading. It was stolen from us. It wasn't won
Right,
from us
right.
for the most part.
Right.
It was stolen through treaties. So it was like,
Those bastards.
so you don't speak English, someone tells you that this English document says one thing, but it actually doesn't, right? And you sign it.
This makes me
right?
so sad, man.
Yeah, so that's a huge reason why a lot of Native people are sour.
I mean,
and it
makes complete sense for them to
So when someone's on their land that is theirs, is theirs. It's the little bit that they have.
Plus, there's different laws on native land.
Yeah. So they're like not having it. The white people on their land, even though I didn't do anything to them, I'm not harming them. I didn't do nothing.
Right. And they don't know that you're not white.
They don't know that, right? But because I look white.
Right.
But I can't help it.
Like, I'm black, dude.
Like, I can't help it at all. So, anyways, he basically says what Treaty 6 is, and then he says it again in Cree. Mm-hmm. And then he says, where... what did he say? He said something like, where is your mother? Or something like, where is your mother from? Or where's your father from? Or something like that. And I'm like, dude, I'm Native too. Mm-hmm. And then he kind of goes, like, oh. And then he's like, where are you from? That's not how it happened. I'm kind of foggy. He says, where is your father from? And I say, I'm from Ermineskin.
Awesome.
That's that's the golden goose. You don't.
The name Ermineskin is.
You got it. You have to, like. Right? So
they'll get you out of any situation.
All right. So
we're going to kill you. No, Ermineskin.
So they're okay. So he says, then I say, I'm Native too. Uh-huh. And then he starts speaking to me in Cree.
Right.
But I don't speak Cree.
Right.
And he's an elder. Or, well, he's not an elder.
Right.
He's an elder as of his age. He's older. But he's not a, like, official elder.
Right.
Right. So he's speaking to me in Cree. And I'm like, I don't know what that says. He's like, I thought you said you were from Ermineskin. But he doesn't say Ermineskin. He says something else. Something in Cree. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, no, I am. And he's like, do you have a status card? I was like, I'll show you my status card. At this point, I'm like, I'm going to get hurt either way. Mm. They were very much not happy.
Right.
And they said, so I told them that I'm from Ermineskin. And then I hear one of the younger people, not the two that are in the water, but another one, he goes, he's from Ermineskin. We can fight them. And I'm like, oh no. But nothing happens, right?
Right.
I find out later, Joel heard him say, they're from Ermineskin, we can't fight them.
Ooh.
Which is why they didn't. Because you don't want to have because they don't know who I know or don't know, right?
Right. You don't know.
I'm from Ermineskin. Oh, shit, they're from Ermineskin. Don't mess with them just in case there's retaliation.
Right.
Right? And not like it's a huge gang war or anything like that. It's not like that. It's just you kind of don't mess with certain reserves because they're more dangerous. Like our reserve is the only one with a jail on it, for instance, right? But like these reserves, they're still like they have a right to be angry.
Right. No, absolutely.
And so but then they're still mad because I'm bringing two white people on land.
Right.
They're like, this is Indian land. It's all Indian land.
Right.
So it's like every Indian can use this land.
Right.
And I'm like, well, we'll go if you don't want us to fish here. And they're like, you're just fishing? And I'm like, yeah, we're just fishing. And they're like, how long have you fished here for? And then, because this guy, he's still mad. He's like, how long have you fished here? This is the scary guy.
This is like an interrogation.
Mm-hmm. The scary guy.
Like, how close were you?
Close, like this close to the scary guy. The other guy who was speaking Cree to me, he was a little further away. Like he was like a second in command type of guy, or something like that.
Right.
Not that I think there was rankings like that, but that's just what it looked like. I'm sure there
was, and there's
this guy though. He was like, "How long have you been fishing here?" And I'm like, "I haven't fished in this spot before." And he's like, "What did he say?" He's like, "You didn't see the signs." Something at large. There was like something at large, Indian land, something at large. I couldn't remember what he said, but there was apparently the no trespassing. Indian land, something at large, and I couldn't figure out what the at large was. And in not being able to see what the at large was, I looked for that sign on my way out. So they were like, you're lucky that we're nice, and like it was still tense. He was still had his hand on something, or was bluffing. Who knows? I don't know. I can't know.
Right.
I'm not gonna ask him.
Yeah. Hell no.
So he said that you can go, don't come back here again. And then Ashley is out of the water. At this point, they pull her or they let her out or something. I don't remember exactly. And so we put her boat in one of the trucks, and the one guy is talking to her, and she's like smiling and whatever. She's trying to be like nice and whatever. And I'm like, okay, we have to go,
right?
Because like this is not good. And they're like, you're lucky we're nice. They're like, they point and they say, those guys over there, they're not nice. They're not going to let you go. And I was like, okay. And they're like, and then like these other kids, not kids, but younger guys, they're like talking to each other like, hey, is this like whatever? And by the way, they had 2 little kids with them, 2 actual children who were like watching this as if it was totally normal. They were going to do something to us in front of their children. It was messed up.
Shit.
So anyways, they're kind of talking to each other, and I'm assuming that they had called the not nice guys down the road. So I thought, I'm like, oh man, like what?
Right.
What is this? Like, what am I? I'm like, okay, we got to go. And she's talking to this guy who I think he's stalling, and then he like, so I open the door. I'm like, okay, come on. And then I close the door. And I'm like, I talked to the guy who was talking to her. He's like, yeah. He's like, you know what? I think it would be best if you didn't come here again. But he seemed like the nicest guy out of all of them.
So weird.
Not nice, but like not nice. Right? And he looked different than them. He looked like he didn't like he was a tag along or something. Because everyone else looked straight up gangster.
Right.
Right? And this guy, he looked clean cut and everything. Not that, you know what I mean, right? There's different whatever.
Yeah.
And so he's like, it would be best if you didn't come back here again. And I was like, all right, man, we won't worry about it. And he's like, something about like, on your way out, go left or something like that. I don't know, whatever. So I put the boat in the truck, and it's a dinghy, and I didn't tie it down. I'm like, screw. I'm like, I'm gonna have to bleep that out.
Yeah.
So I go and it's a dirt road, remember? So it's like, I'm booking it.
Right.
Joel's booking it.
Right.
Then the boat falls out.
Oh,
and I'm like,
no.
So
leave it.
I back up. Joel gets out of his truck. He's behind me. We put it back in there. Unluckily, I backed up so far that my exhaust pipe hit the boat and it popped a hole in it.
Oh.
But anyways, we get on the road. Then I tie it down. And then I see this truck of freaking guys coming down the road, and they slow down as they go past us. And I think they were the not nice guys. I can't know, but there was a lot of them, and they were booking it.
Wow.
And they slow down and look at us, and then they go down the freaking gravel road, or the dirt road. I was like, oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
So then I as soon as it's tied up, I just I'm like, I'm out of here.
That is so nerve-wracking, dude.
Yeah, dude. Like, even when I go to our reserve, I get side-eye all the time, right?
Yeah.
I go and get gas. I go into a store. I go into the band office. They're like, what are you doing here? Right? And there are other white Indians, right? There's lots.
Yeah, tons.
And, like, for whatever reason, there's sour grapes there, right? So, like, what that... But I can't help it. I can't help it that my grandfather is white.
Right.
I can't help it.
Yeah.
It's not.
And they're not going to sound like they're going to know.
No. But they don't care to know because of the hurt.
It's like,
right?
Yeah. But I feel...
To me, that's not an excuse, but... Because I wouldn't do that to someone. I wouldn't be like, oh, he's this, he's that, he's whatever. I don't know.
I think there's salty people everywhere, right?
Yeah.
It's never gonna stop until.
No.
I mean, I don't think it ever will. The people are always gonna. There's always gonna be difference, and people are afraid of things that they don't understand.
Exactly. So that's my story. I'm sure I missed out some stuff. I was trying to hurry, so. Who knows what we're going to talk about next week, but in the meantime, if you want to know what we're up to, check out our individual social medias and YouTube channels. You might like what we have over there. So we appreciate you guys watching, and we'll see you next week for another something.
Yeah, something. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a good one.
Man, dude, that's... My heart is pounding right now telling that story.
Dude, I'm sitting here, like... I don't have the heebie-jeebies, but I have, like, my anxiety is, like, a little, tipped the scale a little bit. Oh, man, that's so scary. That's so scary, man.
I hope this one wasn't a bummer.
No, I don't think it was. I think we did good. I was very intrigued